Hello friends. So in this video we will discuss the radial movement of water from root surface to the tracheary element. Okay. So this is the radial movement of water from root surface to tracheary element. Okay. So uh, once water has been absorbed into the root hairs or epidermal cells, okay, it must traverse the cortex in order to reach to the xylem. Okay, once once root will absorb the water, then it will move to the cortex part. Okay, water move to the cortex part. Got it? For what? For reach to xylem. Okay. Then root in cross section, we have seen in the previous video that the root in cross section, this is the root in cross section, like what? First is the outermost layer is the epidermis, then the innermost is the cortex, then the endodermis, then pericycle, and last xylem, and the innermost layer is the phloem. Water will move like this. Okay, first epidermis, then cortex. Okay, and epidermis, then this cortex, then the pericycle, then xylem, and then phloem. Sorry, pericycle, that is the endodermis. Okay, this is the endodermis, this is the pericycle, then the xylem, and lastly to the phloem. Okay, then the path is through which water moves into the xylem cells to roots occurs through the both apoplast and symplastic pathway. We have discussed about this. So this movement from epidermis to the phloem will pass through two pathway. Okay, first is apoplast and second is symplast, and other is the trans membrane pathway also. Transmembrane. Okay, so these two will the most common pathway for the movement of water. First is apoplast and second is the symplast. Okay, so in apoplastic pathway we have discussed the so in apoplastic pathway. Okay, this is the apoplastic pathway. The pathway essentially involves the diffusion and bulk flow. Bulk flow means the surface. Okay, this is the bulk area. Okay, of water through intercellular spaces between cells and the walls of the cells. Okay, this is the cell. Okay, this is the cell, like this. This is the cell. Then the water will move like this. Okay, through the intercellular space. The space between two cell is the intercellular space. Okay, then the root hairs or the epidermal cells to the endodermis. Okay, it always extended from the root hairs or other epidermal cells to the endodermis. What extended na? The apoplastic pathway. The apoplastic pathway, okay, extended from extended from root hairs to the endodermis. Okay, root hairs to root hairs or other epidermal parts to endodermis. Okay, then after endodermis, one barrier will come, that is suberin. Okay, then the symplastic pathway will follow. Got it? Okay, then suberin acts as a barrier of water and solute movement. Okay, then after endodermis, okay, after endodermis, in the endodermis layer, this suberin acts as a barrier for the movement of water and solute. Okay, the endodermis, the innermost layer of cell in the root cortex, we have seen this, like this is the endodermis. Yes or no? Innermost layer of the epidermis and cortex. Got it? From endodermal cell movements through the symplast. So from epidermis to endodermis, the movement will apoplastic. From endodermis to the other, that is the symplastic. Okay. Then in the symplastic pathway, in the symplastic pathway, this is a system of interconnected protoplast. Got it? This is like, this is the cell. This is the cell, like this will pass through the, through like this. If this will the pass through to the cytoplasm of one cell to another cell, like this, it will penetrate like twice. This will be the transmembrane pathway. Okay, if this is like this like this, okay, then it will be the symplastic pathway. Symplastic pathway. Okay, that is, it will pass, so the cytoplasm of neighboring cells are connected through plasmodesmata. Okay, this will pass only the plasmodesmata. This is the plasmodesmata. What is plasmodesmata? Now the connection of cytoplasm of neighboring cells, connection of cytoplasm of the neighboring cell, that is the plasmodesmata. So basically, if it will pass through the intercellular space from epidermis to endodermis, it will be the apoplastic pathway. Yes or no? Apoplastic. If secondly, if it will pass through the plasmodesmata from endodermis, then it will be the symplastic pathway. Got it? Okay, clear? Okay, we'll see that the root hair cell to the endodermis and across it all the way to dead xylem cells. Okay, from endodermis to what? Endodermis to xylem. That is the symplastic pathway. Got it? Then we'll study the root pressure. Okay, one pressure will arise in the time of what? Water movement from root to the root to the other parts. Okay, then a pressure will arise, that is we call the root pressure. Got it? Okay, then the root pressure. So root pressure. If the stem of a well watered herbaceous plant, okay, this is a herbaceous plant. If we will cut the stem part, we can see a liquid like structure. Yes or no? If we will cut this, then we will see a liquid discharging from the stem part, discharging from the cut part. Okay, then that is called the xylem sap. Xylem sap. What? The liquid-like structure. While we cut the stem part of the herbaceous plant, a liquid-like structure, will discharge. That is the xylem sap. Okay, xylem sap will exude from the cut surface. Okay, that is the discharging of liquid that we call what? Xylem sap. Got it? Then that indicates the presence of a positive pressure. If the water like structure is, if the liquid like structure is discharging, it will indicate the presence of a positive pressure. Okay, then that is the pressure is known as a root pressure. Why root pressure is creating, why root pressure is arising, we will see. Okay, then this pressure is known as a root pressure. Okay, discharging due to the what, due to a pressure, that is the root pressure. Okay, then because of the force that give rise to the exudation means discharge, originate in the root. Okay, because one force will act to push the water to to push the water in the cord side. Okay, that is the, that is a force. Then it is then that will the root pressure can be as high as 0.5. Okay, why the pressure is known as the root pressure? Because it is creating in the root part. Okay, root, this term coined by Stephen Hales. Root pressure, term coined by what? Stephen Hales. Phan Hales. Okay, then this pressure is known as root pressure because the force that give rise to the exudation originate in the root. Why root pressure? Because this force is creating, the force is originating in the root part only. So that is called the root pressure. Okay, the root pressure can be, root pressure can be 0.5 megapascal. Why pascal? Because the pressure, unit of pressure. Okay, then the buildup of solutes in the xylem sap leads to a decrease in the xylem water potential. Okay. Then root generate positive hydrostatic pressure by absorbing what? Ions. We have discussed about the positive hydrostatic pressure in the previous video. Okay. Then the root will generate the positive hydrostatic pressure. Okay, by absorbing ions from the dilute soil. Okay, the soil is the mixture of, we have studied, soil is the mixture of what? Ions plus water plus air. If water will move to the root, then ions also mix in the water. Yes or no? Then it will create the positive hydrostatic pressure. Okay, the buildup of solutes in the xylem sap, if the water is present, then also there may be have the ions are present. Okay, then it leads to a decrease in the xylem water potential. If solute is more, water potential, what is the water potential? Means the, like water concentration is high and solute concentration is low, then we can say the water potential is high. Okay, if the water concentration is low, solute is high, then water potential is less. Yes or no? Then water will move from the higher water potential to lower water potential. Water potential means what? the concentration of water is high. Yes or no? Then the buildup of solutes in the xylem sap. If the solute is increasing in the water, then it leads to the decrease in the xylem water potential. Yes or no? Solute is more means water potential is less. Yes or no? Potential is because the concentration of water is less. Potential is less. Okay, got it. Then this lowering of the xylem water potential provides a driving force for water absorption. Okay, if the xylem water potential is less, xylem water potential is less, water potential is less, then it will require the water. Yes or no? Then it provides a driving force for water absorption, which in turns lead to a positive hydrostatic pressure in the xylem. Okay, if the xylem requires water, then it will absorb the water. Yes or no? Absorb water. Then, if the absorption is required, then positive hydrostatic pressure will arise. Hydrostatic pressure will what? Arise. Okay. Then this is the story. Okay. Then root pressure is most likely to occur when soil water potential are high and transpiration. We have studied, we have discussed about this part. That root pressure is most likely when soil water soil water potential are what? High. Okay, and transpiration is low. Then the root pressure is arise. Okay, when transpiration rates is high, when transpiration rates is high, then water is taken up so rapidly from soil. That is the soil, this is the root, and so rapidly water will move from the soil to the root. Okay, then into the leaves. Okay, root to the leaves, then to the atmosphere. That is transpiration, that is a loss of water from the aerial parts of the plant. Yes or no? Then that a positive pressure will never develops. When positive pressure will develop? When the xylem requires it. Okay, xylem requires it, then the positive hydrostatic pressure will arise. When is the already the rapid movement of water is happening, then the water content is also high in the xylem part. Yes or no? Then why will the hydrostatic pressure will arise? Okay, hydrostatic pressure will arise when the absorption of water is required and the xylem water concentration is less. Then the positive hydrostatic pressure will arise. Okay, so uh, we'll in next video we'll discuss about the xylem anatomy and mechanism of ascent of shaft. Okay, so thank you.